Good afternoon, everyone. It's Thursday afternoon. Hope you're doing well, and the week is going okay for all of you. We're going to do a Rashi from the fifth Aliyah today in Parshas Emor. Beautiful Parsha. We're in the middle of Parshas Moados. We talked a little bit yesterday at the beginning of the fourth Aliyah about the idea of Eila Moadei Hashem, as we discussed yesterday, Deber al B'nai Israel, the fact that the entirety of B'nai Israel are integral to the celebration of the Moadim, so much so that the Beis Din might be able to delay the onset of the calendar of the holidays of the new months in order to ensure that Bnei Israel, the Bnei Hagola, those from the exile, the diaspora, are able to reach the Beis HaMikdash in time to celebrate the holiday with the rest of Am Yisrael. A beautiful statement about the unity of Am Yisrael and the nature of the holidays, this Mikra E Kodesh. Skipping forward to our Aliyah today, the fifth Aliyah, going through the various holidays. The fifth Aliyah, at the beginning, we get to the holiday of Yom Kippur. Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. First, we have Rosh Hashanah, the Chodesh Hashvi, the seventh month, which is Tishrei, Echad LaChodesh, the first of the month, which of course Rosh Hashanah. It's Zichron Trua. It's a day of the blowing of the shofar, the remembrance of the shofar. These themes are captured very much in the Musaf Amida and the rest of the tefillos of the day. Malchios, Zichronos, Shofaros, Shofaros being Trua, Zichronos being Zichron, and Malchios being the nature of the day itself. Then we get into Yom Kippur. Ach be'asor lachodesh hashvi hazeh. On the 10th of the month of the seventh month, it's Yom Kippurim, Mikra Kodesh Yelachem. Again, it's a Mikra Kodesh, a holy convocation, a holiday. V'inisem es nafsho seichem, v'krafti v'shel Hashem. It's a day of fasting, and it's a day of particular korbanos, which we learn about. Two comments I wanted to make about this pasuk from Rashi. First of all, Mikra Kodesh. Mikra Kodesh is a phrase that occurs many times throughout this passage in reference to all the different holidays, and including in our first pasuk, the opener to this whole section, Mikra Kodesh, holy convocations, days which we call holy, we declare to be holy. That's what we spoke about yesterday. That's the koach, the power given to Am Yisrael and to the Beis Din to declare the months and to declare the holidays. We call them out, mikra, from the language of kriya, to call. We call them out as being kodesh. We establish them as being holy. And there are certain ways in which we do that. It's not only a verbal declaration, but all the preparations for the holiday, the mitzvahs of the holiday, the functions of the holiday are the actions through which we declare the day to be holy. And all of them are called Mikra Kodesh. But when it comes to Yom Kippur, it's very evident from the pasuk that this day is different from the rest because v'inisem es nafsho seichem, we have to afflict our souls on that day. So Rashi has to go out of his way to explain how we create a Mikra Kodesh on a day that doesn't have the usual parameters of a Yontif. So what is Mikra Kodesh here in the context of Yom Kippur? Kadshehu b'ksus nikia u'v'tfila. The special nature of the day is in the way we dress, and not just dress, but the way we make our beds, we set the table, we clean our homes, we prepare our homes for the day of Yom Kippur, and the way that we dress on Yom Kippur, and b'tfila, through prayer, the way we daven on Yom Kippur. That's the way we declare a Mikra Kodesh. It's a little bit different than the rest because Shor Kol Shar Yamim Tovim, the other holidays of the year, b'machal u'v'mishteh u'v'ksus nikia u'tfila. We have two more angles or aspects of the day that can declare it to be holy. That's with the eating and the drinking. So normally there will be four components. There will be eating, drinking, the clothing that we wear, and the tefillos that we recite. And in this case of Yom Kippur, we only have two out of the four, and therefore we have to do it through those means, but without having the rest. Means that they're all important, but if one of them is missing, we still have the opportunity to declare these days Mikra Kodesh. So they're Mikra Kodesh in slightly different ways, but they all get the declaration of holiness through our various actions that we take. But there's another word here in the pasuk which refers to Yom Kippur, which appears a couple of times in the Torah and is darshan in different ways by Chazal, and that's the word ach. Ach be'asor lachodesh. It's a really interesting and strange way to introduce the day of Yom Kippur. Every holiday comes one after the other. By the Moshe Emor, Daber al B'nai Israel, and such a day you should have this holiday, and such a day you should have this holiday, and such as and in the order of all these holidays, all of a sudden gets to Yom Kippur and says, but on the 10th of the month you should have Yom Kippur. What is the but? What is the ach? What is it trying to do here as the intro to the day of Yom Kippur? Sort of trying to exclude something different about the day of Yom Kippur. Ach, kol achin v'rakin shebatorah miutin. as is evident even from the translation. Every ach in the Torah is a miut. It's a declaration of something that would be subtracted, something that would be missing. But this day doesn't have that. It's a limitation on the day in some sort. It's a limiting word. But so it's sort of removing it from the rule, removing it from the rest, removing it from the usual functions or aspects to be different, to be more limited, to be more restricted. It's a restrictive word in some way. So what's the restriction here? What is teaching us about the restriction of Yom Kippur? Mechaper hu al hashavim ve'eno mechaper al she'enam shavim. Very famous machlokas Tanaim mentioned in the Gemara, machlokas between the different stages of the Mishnah, between Rebbe and the Chachamim, about whether the day of Yom Kippur has the power to be mechaper, to atone, even for those who don't do tshuva. Is it a powerful enough day that every Jew who goes through it, even those who don't observe the day, do they gain the atonement of Yom Kippur? Does every Jew automatically get a clean slate when they go through Yom Kippur? Or is it that a Jew who tries to do tshuva, then coupled with the power of atonement of Yom Kippur, can have their slate wiped clean? It's machlokas tanai. So Chachamim who say that it can only be mechaper with tshuva, darshan it from this word ach. Ach here says the intro to Yom Kippur is, you have to understand, this is a day of immense kapara, Yom HaKippurim, the day of atonements. But there's an ach that you need to understand at the very beginning. We're going to talk about the atonement of this great day, but ach, but, rak, miut. There's something that this is a limiting factor for, and that is those who don't do tshuva. The day of Yom Kippur that we're about to speak about, with all its power to atone, is only ach for those who do tshuva. Now, that's not the position of Rebbe, and it's a complicated machlokas. Much more to say about that. How Rebbe darshans, how Chachamim darshan. Are they talking about the korban of Yom Kippur? Are they talking about the day of Yom Kippur? What does it mean to be do tshuva? If it requires us to have tshuva along with it, does it mean to observe the day of Yom Kippur, to fast and stuff like that? Does it mean to do tshuva for the various averus that we did? What does it work for? What does it not work for? It's a whole discussion between them and about how we paskin on this matter. But just to show you here in the language of the pasuk, this ach is a powerful one that, according to at least Chachamim, quoted here by Rashi, is the major intro to the holiday of Yom Kippur, that we understand everything that's about to come next in these psukim, in the description of the awesome and holy day, is really only a description for those who do tshuva. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too, Rabbi, and everybody.
Very well.
Thank
Have a good
you.
one. Bye.